Exponential graphs. How do they work? So, if we assume a y-axis and an x-axis, and we're asked to label something like y equals a to the x, what we need to do is we need to draw something similar to a reciprocal graph. And it will look something like this, right? It's exponentially increasing. It keeps increasing no matter what. What do you notice about this point, though? Well, this point here is going to be 1, isn't it? Why is it 1? Because a to the 0 is equal to 1. And it keeps increasing. But notice something. There is an asymptote here. And this asymptote is y equals 0. Now let's use this information to help us with this one. Sketch the curve y equals 2 to the power of x minus 3. What we're going to do is we're going to draw a sketch of axes, where this is y and this is x. I'm just going to draw 2 to the x just to make things a little bit easier, right? With a dotted line. This would be what 2 to the x would look like. Something like this, right? Where this is 1, and then this is 2, then 4, then 8, and so on and so forth. Now, because we have a minus 3 here, we have to translate it to the right. So our actual graph is going to look something like this, where this here now will be 1, 3. And that is our final answer. Is this video helpful? Well, make sure you subscribe so you never miss a video like it from me. Now let's use this same analogy, but for something like this. Label each graph of the correct equation. Well, what would something like 3 to the x and 4 to the x look like? Well, as you can see, one would be a little bit steeper. So if this is 3 to the x, right? Sorry, it's not going to look like that. Let's make it as accurate as possible. I know it's a sketch, but let's make it accurate. It wouldn't go under the x-axis, but yeah. Let's say we have something like this, right? This will be 3, right? But notice how the graph works. If it would be something like this, where it's 4 to the x, it would be a lot steeper. So what we can say with reasonable certainty, using this logic, we can say that, which one was steeper, would you guys say? The one on the left or the one on the right? I'd say the one on the right is slightly steeper. So this one will be 4x, and this one will be y to the 3x. What about these two? Well, because it's negative x, right? This is the same as f of negative x, which means it's being reflected on the y-axis, okay? What do you think we do with a quarter to the x? Well, if it goes negative, right? So if we have, let's say, a quarter to the power of negative 3, that's the same as 1 over a quarter cubed, which would just be 64. So you see, it's the other way round. So it's still going to be a reflection if it is in a fraction. The question is which one would be steeper? Yeah, it is going to be this one. So we can say that this matches with this, and this one matches with this one. I'm sorry if this is not really readable, but I'll double check. So if this is number 1, this is number 2, this is number 3, and this is number 4, then this will be for matching 4, this one will be matching 3, this one will be matching 1, and this one will be matching 2. Did that not make any sense? Well, you can join my Discord server and ask me whatever questions you want down below. Now let's model a little bit with these types of questions. A graph has equation y equals ka to the x, and it passes through 1, 6, and 448. How are we going to work out what k and a are? Well, we know that y is equal to ka to the x, and so subbing in these values, we can say that 6 is equal to ka to the 1, and 48 is equal to ka to the 4. We're going to use substitution here, also known as simultaneous equations. If we sub in k, right, k is just going to be 6 over a, okay? And so if we sub that in, right, for k, 48 is going to be equal to 6 over a times a to the 4. Laws of indices, what are we going to do with a? We're going to change it to 6a cubed, which is equal to 48. And then we can divide by 6, so a cubed is 8. And so a is equal to 2. Now we can sub that in for a here. So a times k is equal to 6. And so therefore k is equal to 6 over 3. 6 over 3. Sorry, my cursor's not working today. So let me redraw that. So k is equal to 6 over 2, which is equal to 3. So k equals 3 and a equals 2. Thank you guys for watching. I hope this video was helpful. Do you want to pass your exams with flying colours? Well, you can get tutored by me. Drop me an email to organise a meeting and a quote. Keep on learning as you have no idea what you're capable of doing.